everybody, and welcome inside another edition of the Wrap-Up. Dan Myers, Nick Buckler with you. That's right, as always. Dan, it's been a minute. A lot of things have happened, and one thing that actually happened in the pretty recent history was Matthew Stafford. The Lions got the deal done. Now he is the richest quarterback or player in NFL history.
Absolutely, and what do you think about this? I mean, I've heard mixed reviews. I feel like it's a big investment, but you got to continue to invest in something in order to get return. I see you broke it down. How are you feeling about this? As soon as I saw that, I'm like, what is Nick going to say about this? I'm curious to see how he feels.
I really didn't. I was confused as to why anyone didn't want to get this deal done. And to let him walk for nothing. Draft a quarterback. Okay, people. Let me get this straight. This is the best player you've had since Barry Sanders. What about Calvin? Okay, forget him. This is the glue that holds this team together. And to me, it's just, if you don't want to get this deal done, you're nuts. He's played since 2009 was his rookie season. He was hurt his first 2 years. Wipe those years out. Forget about him. In the last 6 years, he has had 3 winning records for your team, who really hasn't had a winning record since, my lifetime. 3 playoff appearances in those 6 years, which, okay. 2 10-win seasons, okay? Also, it doesn't help that, he hasn't gotten anything done. They can't win anything. He's not the reason. Look at the defenses those teams had. Okay, but look at this. You've had a one-dimensional offense in those years. They haven't had a player rush for 100 yards in 4 years. I mean, give him a real competent running back and a competent defense. He's one of only 5 players to ever throw for 5,000 yards. Okay? I mean, who cares? When you throw 60 times a game, of course it's going to happen. Well, guess what? If you didn't have to throw 60 times a game, your team might have won more than 10 games that year. They might have won 12, and they might have won a playoff game. They haven't won anything, and you're going to give this guy $27 million? Okay, first of all, he doesn't make $27 million until next year. By then, he won't even be the highest-paid quarterback in the league. Matt Ryan will get a new contract by then. Drew Brees will get a new contract by then. Aaron Rodgers will get a new contract by then. Oh, and by the way, Kirk Cousins will get a new contract by then, and he's going to make more only because of the whole debacle that's going on in Washington with the franchise tag this, give me more money that. So by then, he'll be the 5th highest paid quarterback, in just 1 year from now. So before his contract even takes place, he won't be the highest paid quarterback anymore. So why are people complaining? Well, we could have saved some money if we would have done that. How does that affect you? How does that affect the fan? Beer's still going to be $10. A foam finger is going to be $7, and you're still going to pay $45 to park. And guess what? You're still going to do it because you love football. Okay, what would you rather have drafted Bryce Petty a couple years ago? Oh, how'd that work? That's pretty petty to me. Okay, awful. He plays in the same division as Rodgers, so obviously he's not going to be the best quarterback in the division. It's hard to do. He can overthrow him, sure. Okay, plays in the NFC. A lot of good quarterbacks there. That's how much a quarterback deserves to get paid. That's the rate right now. Derek Carr, okay, yep, slightly ahead of him. Andrew Luck's right below that. I mean, these guys are getting the money. I read an article. Someone said, I guess that's how much it would cost me to stay in Detroit too. Get a life. This team is closer than they've ever been. Then to throw it all away for nothing? No.
Well, more importantly, a lot of people are saying, well, what would you do, though? All right, you've invested so much up until this point, and you have seen some returns, but you can't just hit the reset button. It would have been all for naught. And I can't say that I disagree with anything you said. You're absolutely right. What can you do? It's the quarterback position. That's why it's one of the most coveted when you when you start playing football. You're essentially the face of the team, unless you got someone like Barry Sanders or at the time Calvin Johnson, whatever. But yeah, you're going to pay that man his money, and by the end of week 1, hopefully we'll stop hearing about this. But I have a feeling it's going to be going on for a little while.
To me, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. He'll still be hated in this town.
Yeah.
Along with the goalie of the Red Wings and the closer for the Tigers. Always. Those three positions.
Yep.
No one will everyone will never be satisfied.
Yeah, you're always going to be the punching bag.
Always.
For sure.
Doesn't matter. He could go out and be elected to a Pro Bowl this show. By the way, he's only a one-time Pro Bowler. Cry me a river. No one watches that anyways.
Yeah.
And the best players don't even play in it.
Well, and the bigger thing that we don't even have to worry about is, thank God we're not dealing with the Kirk Cousins right now, or even just having the situation in San Francisco that with the Kaepernick situation. We don't have to worry about that. And yes, we're going to be spending a lot, but like Nick said, what are you complaining about? I mean, the ticket prices are going to stay as high as they are. Nothing's going to get lowered if we were to get a cheaper quarterback. No. So, the man's making us money. If you want to start complaining about people making too much money, we can maybe jump in the politics, but we won't because it's a sports show. So, with that being said.
Another thing is, if this wouldn't have gotten done, you know how much more drama that would have led all season long? Mm-hmm. Oh, are they going to get the deal done? No, they should let him off. They should re-sign him.
Last year.
Right. It doesn't matter. They got the deal done. Now let's focus on the season. Who cares?
Yep.
If you want to talk about someone being overpaid, look at the NBA. You have washed-up players, Otto Porter, Mike Conley making $30+ million a year. So you're going to try to tell me one of the best players in the NFL isn't deserving to be one of the highest paid?
Yep.
Cry
exactly.
me a river. People will never get it. Oh, and also, did you hear what Rob Parker said? Did you hear? You heard.
I heard.
Rob Parker, a man who I don't think anyone should take seriously, but because of what he said, we got to bring it up. Rob Parker. He said Colin Kaepernick would be a better option than Matthew Stafford for the Detroit Lions. Explain. Well, the only reason he's not in the league is because he kneels during the anthem. Look at his numbers. They're terrible. Guy couldn't start in San Francisco last year. And do you really want someone with that much, whether you agree or disagree, do you want that publicity and that around your team? It's a distraction. Regardless of if you agree or disagree, it's a distraction. The players don't want that. The fans don't want that. And to be honest, look, he doesn't have a team. The league doesn't want it. You're trying to tell me he'd be a better option? Congrats on going 2-14 again. That's what would happen. Dude can't even throw a spiral. Well, look he's better than Orlovsky. Sure, but he wants more money than these guys. So don't tell me that, well, a guy like Dan Orlovsky or Jake Rudock is in the league, but Colin Kaepernick's not. Because you can pay those guys league minimum. Colin Kaepernick wants more than league minimum. And guess what? To be honest, do you think that's worth the trouble and all the hassle and all the media distraction going on to pay this guy on top of having to fend off all these questions in this media? Because let's be honest, the second he signs somewhere, every news station, every sports writer is going to be at all their practices, all their games, everything. No team wants that.
No.
And to be honest, LaShawn McCoy said he's not worth the distraction.
We had enough issues with that towards the end of last season with Stafford's, contract dilemma that rumors is shaking up the locker room, this, that, and the other. It's like, all right, if we can't handle a simple contract discussion, what makes you think we're going to they'll be able to handle something like that? And it's not good for the locker room. I feel that you really need to just make it about the team, and that clearly isn't the case. And there was rumors and a lot of articles have been written about a lot of division with the team that he had at the time just because of, said players' actions. And unfortunately, fortunately for the Lions, we're not doing that. We don't have to worry about that, but to go out and write an article or discuss the fact that it's better, first of all, what good does that do? The ink's already drying. It's the deal's done. Second of all, if you're looking for numbers, go somewhere else. Go down a different path. Go say you're not happy with the LCA, or the fact that the Pistons need to stay in Auburn Hills or need to be back. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's nothing. It's a fantasy scenario that's not going to happen. The contract's done. Let it go. It's over. What good can come out of this? And you could say what you want about certain radio talents and sports talk. talent. Oh, they never defend, or they never have the lines back. He's always angry about this, that, and the other. Well, you can't just pick on this guy and not go after this guy. So I know I sort of veered off the course as it be, but it's frustrating that that's even an issue. You told me about that. I was upset. I'm like, what could come out of this? It's a fantasy scenario.
You want to know what he's looking for? Rob Parker knows he's not relevant anymore. So he just has to come up with some sort of, long shot pipe dream just to get his name back into the scene. Dude can't hold, yeah. That's all it is. You go on Colin Cowherd's show, who says the Lions did the right thing. Pay the man what he's worth. He's your glue. He's your duct tape that holds this team with poor ownership, poor management in the past, poor coaching together. Rob Parker wants to argue that. Sure, okay, whatever. For the kids, Rob, for the kids. Do you still want to talk about this?
I'm okay. Let's do it. I mean, how do you feel? How did you feel about the Patriots game, the first game of the preseason? Were you impressed? Did you take away anything from that?
The Patriots game, their defense was awful. That's that. But you can't look into preseason. Who cares?
Yeah.
Throw it away. The year they went 0-16, they went 4-0 in the preseason. Preseason's too long. Players get injured. Edelman tore his ACL. Spencer Ware tore his PCL and LCL. Who cares? How about LCA, Little Caesars Arena?
LCA.
How about it?
Oh, what did you think? You were fortunate enough to get a little sneak preview. I was very curious to see what you have to think about that. I mean, it's coming together. From the outside, it looks good. Every day you're getting updated with, they moved these statues in and we're doing this.
Well, they show you what they want you to see.
Show, yeah.
They show you what's done.
Mm-hmm.
If they showed you what it really looked like on the inside, it's what it should have looked like in April.
Ooh.
I'm serious. There's no way it's going to be done. And if it is, it's not going to be good quality. It's so far. That's all I got to say about it. The arena part itself, the inside the bowl, I guess you could say, looks cool. And they also have the press box, which is in. It was not an afterthought. But there's seats behind the press box. You can't see the ice or the floor from there. They have monitors on the back of the press box. Why would I pay to get into a venue where I'm just watching a TV?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. To be honest, when you're in there, when it's empty and still being built, it kind of felt more so like a spaceship rather than an arena. Now, mind you, if there's 18,000+ screaming fans in there, sure, it's going to be a different feel. Once you get the spilled beer smell and the old Little Caesars pizza crust smell in there like the Joe had, I'm sure hockey and, it's hard for me to say, basketball will be felt there as well, but who knows. I don't. There's no way it's going to be done. I'm sorry, no way.
Right.
They have less than 2 weeks until Kid Rock's opening event. And by the way, they have a walkthrough and a tour and a grand opening event for the public in a week, less than a week. Shouldn't you be sure that your venue's going to be done before you schedule something like that? This is what it should have looked like at the end of last hockey season. There's no way the bathrooms should not work. The plumbing should not work 2 weeks before. There's no reason. Restaurants still aren't built inside. But hey, that's just one guy's opinion.
Well, it sounds like a big problem was, they didn't have enough employees from Detroit. Upon purchasing the land and getting the approval, you had to have so many. Well, when they're not available, there's not much you can do, and I feel a lot of that is the issue. Overall, though, once it's complete, are you going to be happy with it? It kind of, from looking at the mock-ups and the blueprints that they had when they first unveiled it, it looked like there was going to be some obstructed viewing, and I just can't believe for a state-of-the-art arena that we're getting, we're still going to have the same issue that we had in Tiger Stadium with the obstructed view seats for $1, whatever you get. So the fact that you're watching a TV, how is that going to help the situation of getting new people or just fans in the stadium or the arena in general?
People are going to go because they want to be there.
Right. Why are we having obstructed seats? And a brand new facility.
Hey, don't ask me. Don't ask me. I'm sure it'll be nice, but it's whatever.
But yeah,
That's how I feel about the whole situation.
so are you still excited once it'll be done? You think we'll be happy with it, or are we going to be complaining already?
No, I don't think any there'll be complaints.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be nice to go as a fan this year. It'll be a different take on things. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be state of the art. I mean, the monitor and the scoreboard looks great. They have monitors inside of the boards. It's just different. It's different. I don't like change.
Yeah.
So it's still hard to not see the blue roof and the awful smell. To have a bounce and squeak team playing on your off nights, it's just weird. But who knows? The surrounding area is still like a war zone.
Yeah.
There's no streets anymore. It's all construction site.
Yeah.
For them to be able to have that fixed in less than 2 weeks, no.
The thing I was thinking about too is, when you walked into Joe Louis Arena, it felt like home. This was hockey. This is granted, this is how we were raised. We were brought up going here, and this is hockey, and this is where you play. This is the mecca for us. And I'm curious to see if and when it'll ever feel like home.
Never.
Yeah.
It won't. Feels like you're at your great aunt Shirley's house in Arkansas when you have to go there when you were bad in the winter. So they send you there in the summer, and you got to go, hoe the garden and make sure that the corn stalks are in order, and then clean up the river, and that's where you bathe too. That's what it's going to feel like.
And you're going to be sharing it with another family also. So
yeah, a family that you like but you don't.
It's cool when they do
A
good.
family of people that are only there when they're good and aren't there when they're bad. Oh, what?
Where are
We're
you going
not
with
talking
that?
about the Pistons.
No.
Why would we ever do that? We love all of our teams, especially the Tigers.
Yeah.
Eh.
Well, while we were away, we did have the brawl with the Yankees.
That we did.
How do you feel?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
If you could promise me that every baseball game was
I'd
going to end with a
watch.
brawl, I would have season
Three-
tickets in a second.
3 benches cleared.
Yeah.
I don't think the suspensions were fair.
No.
Miguel, 7 games, sure, whatever. He started it. Fine. Alex Wilson, 4 games for doing the same thing. Actually, it's something less worse than what Dellin Betances of the Yankees did for drilling James McCann right in the temple. He got nothing, not even a fine, not even a dirty look. Shot you a dirty look. Like that. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Joe Torre handed out these suspensions and fines. Funny, what was his last job? Oh yeah, manager of the Yankees. Oh, what is his team right now? Oh, they're in a pennant race. Oh, what are the Tigers not? Okay, we'll just come down on them. Osmus gets a game for obscuring a Yankee player. Mind you, Alex Wilson drills a guy in the back. He gets 4 games. Gary Sanchez sucker punches 2 players who are already interlocked with another player. Unsuspecting people. Sucker punches them. 2 of them. Miggy Castellanos. He gets the same suspension as a player who just drilled a guy in the back. A guy who drills a guy in the skull gets nothing.
Was it 98 miles an hour?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't a lot. It wasn't chin music. It was
It was like
with purpose,
like-
with spite.
that was like the Grim Reaper coming at him.
Yeah.
That could ruin someone's life and a career.
Uh-huh.
He gets nothing. Do it again, Dellin. Do it again.
Yeah, then if somebody gets hurt, well, maybe we'll consider throwing out a punishment out there,
Maybe
but
if
that
you
doesn't
would've
set a
gone
good
to the
example.
hospital, we'd consider fining you. Not suspending you, fining you.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
And
Dude, it brings me back to this. Remember when Shanahan was in charge of player safety and suspensions in the NHL? Did the Red Wings ever get a break?
No,
they actually got it worse.
Yes. Yeah, that's.
Joe Torre, take some lessons or quit your job.
Well, there should be a conflict of interest there too.
He should not be allowed. No.
Yeah. Well, he, didn't he end his career with the Dodgers? Well, yeah, but 99% of his income came from the Yankees, so it's kind of hard.
Stupid.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that happened, but I mean, it was awesome. It definitely made the game.
Entertaining.
It was entertaining to say the
really
least. Thank God he's all right. It was a scary situation. Watching and hearing that ball hit the helmet was just ugh. I mean, I've gone to Barrymore's and got beamed in the leg and it hurt. And those were only the slow pitch machines. I can't even fathom getting hit in the head like that. Ooh. But
Yeah, but what did he do in his next at bat? Crushed a home run
Yes.
off of a Yankee fan's chin, right off the orbital bone.
yeah. And if I can find the picture, maybe we can get it up there. But I took a still and posted on Facebook of a Tigers fan with obviously the shirt on with the arm raised in the air, and then the Yankees fan was crying in his mom's arms like this, and it was just perfectly
great.
summed up.
That ball just perfectly right off the bat of Jimmy McCann, right onto the cheekbone.
Yeah,
That was great. I loved it. Poor kid, though. I blame his parents for raising him Yankee fans.
He'll be all right.
But our team won't. Does Ausmus come back next year?
Yeah, he'll be back. I think he will.
Really? He does not have a contract.
I mean, would it surprise me if he doesn't come back? I just want to go out there. I'm gonna get the I'm gonna get the looks. I could see them bringing him back.
No way. No way he comes back. If he comes back, the fans will burn Comerica to the ground. There won't be any. They'll might as well resurrect Eat 'em Up Tigers guy to be the manager at that point. It's over.
Weekend at Bernie's
The
style.
Ausmus regime is done. But who do they hire? That is yet to be told.
That will remain a mystery until.
Until the next edition of the Wrap Up.
So you're gonna be looking for a new manager, huh?
New manager, you say?
Yeah. How about that? No, we're gonna shoot a look for a new manager, are we?
Shot you a dirty line. Keith Morrison, everybody. That's right.
Best of Clips online. Definitely check it out after
Yeah.
you're done watching this episode of the Wrap
Of
Up.
course, and everything else. On our airwaves, we got a lot of good stuff coming at you here on Shelby TV. But don't worry. Dan Myers and Nick Buckler, we'll be back. Don't worry. Hold the phone, everyone. Detroit sports, always. Always a Tiger. Always. 1984. The Tigers win it. Way back. Anyways, we won't be hearing that anytime soon. Tigers are in a downward spiral. We'll see what happens. Dan Myers, Nick Buckler, we'll see what happens after this.
Yes. Thank you for watching.
Another edition of the Wrap Up. Kobe. Yep.